Peace, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. Siddiqui Chebaye once again, and I would like to thank you once again for allowing me to enter into your home to share with you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I've been blessed with by the Creator and in honoring our ancestors. Because once again, as I always say, we are the ancestors having a human experience. So we must keep the connection with the spiritual ancestors, the ones who's passed on, the ones who will lead, guide, direct, and protect us along the way. When you have an issue or problem, whatever, just call on them. Call on the ancestor that you have high regard for, and they will answer you. Now, again, in Christianity, they call them angels, but we as a people in our culture, we call them ancestors. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about a hot topic today, and we're going to get down and dirty with this because it's extremely personal. And the topic is the power in self mastery. The power in self mastery. We're going to bring this thing on home. And we must know and understand first and foremost that no one on this earth can accomplish anything without power. No one can accomplish anything without power. So, what is power? Power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way. Especially as a quality. Power is quality. So, for an example, having the capacity or the ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or change the course of events. Wow. I hope you hear what I'm saying, because we've been lied to, we've been misdirected, misguided, and miseducated by keep saying that I can't change nobody. I can't change nothing. But if your power can be so great that you can influence, you can direct the behavior of others and change the course of events, that's some serious power. We are power. We are power. Now, the true definition of power is our ability, listen now, our ability to make our own choices. Not being concerned about anyone else. Make your own choices. And what I mean by that is to take on a task or choose to let it go. You can take it on or let it go, or you can stay standing strongly, or choosing to step down. That's power. Making your own choices. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. But when you represent power, you would know that. And timing is the key. Don't forget, we are children of God. We are the original people. And everybody know that, but we must know that and exercise our God-given powers. Because once again, we are power. Now, power is the power, let's just say this. Power is strength. Strength of what? Strength of mind. Power is strength of mind. Power is strength of moral qualities. And power is strength of your faith. Your faith. The strength of your mind, your moral qualities, and your faith. These are qualities of power. We have to get that, family, because once again, we operate on emotions. Well, I feel better, so I must be better. Not really, because feelings come and go like the weather. Don't rely always on your feelings, because a wise man doesn't go on what he feels, he goes on what he knows. So we have to start knowing something. So, power, once again, is strength of your mind, your moral qualities, and your faith. Get that down, family. Really get that down. And real power is within a person. It's within a person. How? By choosing, by making their own choices. They make their own choices. And not only do they make their own choices, they make their own actions, and they take their own actions. In other words, they make their own choices. They make the actions that they take. They create the actions that they take and the thoughts that they create. So choices, action, and thoughts. You take control of that. That's personal. And never allow nobody to determine that for you. Your choices, the actions that you take, and the thoughts that you create. These are the things that determines power. Now, I'd like to share with you something in the scriptures. These Bible scholars, people beating you upside the head with this book, and they don't know nothing about it themselves. So I want to share something with you in Matthew 18th chapter, 17th verse through the 19th verse. And these are quotes from Jesus. Since we are so into Jesus so much, just call on Jesus and that's all you need to do. No, don't forget Jesus is not so much a person. Jesus is a mindset. Because if that person walked down the street today, would you know him? So that goes to show you it's not so much a person. It's a mindset. That's why Jesus always said, if you believe as I believe, then you are my brother, and my Father in heaven is your Father. And he said, things I do, greater things you can do. Now, we need to listen to that. These old chilling eating, pork eating, confused, throwed people on the pulpit be misleading you and misguiding you, misdirecting you. It's all about control. Never allow anybody to control you. You control your own mind. That's power. Make your own choices. Take on your own actions. And make sure that your thoughts that you create is in order. Study to show yourself approval. So what I'm like to do is to share with you what this is saying. And it says, 18:17, it says, and if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect, church is the people now, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, the people, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. A heathen. Church is the people, not the building. So we got to get into each other, like-minded people, not just anybody. In number 18, it says, Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Now, bind means to tighten, to band together. That's cause and effect. That's correlation. That's as within, so without. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. What you see is what you get. It ain't nothing until you call it. All of that means the same. See, I'm not here to change the laws. I'm here to fulfill the laws. See, some of us have that kind of a power, that kind of level, that have that kind of understanding. But sometimes we can get so familiar with each other, we don't feel that we can do that. So that's why these old people, pimps in the pulpit, always be teaching us about history that we can never become. They're telling us about all these characters that we can never become because they're so busy calling us sinners and heathens and wretches and all of that. Wait a minute, that's a contradiction to life. So my thing is make sure that when it comes to you, you make the call. That's power. Making your own choices, creating your own action, and being able to say what you mean and mean what you say. So also, it says in 19, again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. Wow. That's unity, when two or more coming together, touching and agreeing. We're not talking about physical touching and agreeing. We're talking about mental and spiritual touching and agreeing. So that means if one person is 100 and you touching and agreeing with another person who's 100, that's 200. That's power. That's some bright light going on here. That's unity that's going on here. That's relationship that's going on here. And there is nothing that is more important than relationship, because everything that exists is relative. But somebody told us to be individuals. So it's almost like we're the only ones, the only people that have been duped into, doing your own thing. I don't need nobody. You didn't get here by yourself, so how you going to make it by yourself? Don't fool yourself. Don't let them school you, and don't let them fool you. Study on your own and come to your own powerful conclusion. Because we are power. If you're a child of God, you are power. But most people just say it and feel they don't have to qualify themselves. So, powerful people are those who strategize, those who organize, and those who resolve issues and not create them. Again, they're the ones who strategize, organize, and resolve issues and not create issues. There's some deep stuff there. So that means that they are rational and level-headed. Rational and level-headed. Now, we have these kind of people that are like Humpty Dumpty. They sit on the wall and they fell off, and they broke in so many pieces you can't even put them back together anymore. Some of these people we know, some of these people we care for, and some of these people that we are pretending about their reality. A lot of people can't get over the face or the title, but we must be bigger than that. We must use our God-given powers in order to overcome whatever the issue is. Power makes you to be true to yourself. Make it real and keep it real. We have to be intentional about everything. So we have an idea on what power is. Now we must know what mastery is. And don't forget, power is the capacity and the ability to direct and influence the behavior of others and to change the course of events. But they told us that we couldn't. I can't change nobody. Really? Where everything starts at home, change yourself first. Because you have to have it to give it. So mastery is comprehensive knowledge and skills in a subject or an accomplishment. So what is comprehensive? Comprehensive is extensive mental range. Unlimited is what it means. Mental range. Comprehensive knowledge and skills in a subject or an accomplishment. Wow. Also, you have control and superiority over something or someone. Control and superiority. That's why a lot of people be trying to give you a guilt trip. Oh, you think you better than somebody. No, they know you are. That's why they said it. See, one thing about energy recognizes other energies. So be true to yourself. Make it real and keep it real. So I want to share with you processes of mastery, which means to stay there, to really be able to hold a position no matter what's going on around you. And one quality of, or one process of mastery is, number one, learn from the best. Learn from the best. Whether they are a spiritual ancestor or an ancestor that having a human experience, or both. Learn from the best. But unfortunately, we're learning from the best idiots. You know, the best stupid ones, trying to be something that we're not. Oh, I'm a gangster. No, you're not a gangster. When you don't know who you are, you'll grab anything. So we must learn from the best. That's the first step. The second step is to practice. Practice what you have learned, because practice makes perfect. The third thing to do is to listen. Listening is a skill. Hearing and listening is two different levels. Listening is I hear what you're saying, and I can also read between the lines and hear what you're not saying. So you see a bigger picture. So we must develop into these things of mastery. Mastery of self. The fourth thing is to take an assessment of yourself. Always check yourself out, because sometimes we can take ourselves for granted. Always analyze your performance and be true to yourself. Make it real and keep it real. The fifth thing is to adapt. We must be able to adapt. Most of us are like the fist. Nothing can get in and nothing can get out. We must be open and flexible. open and flexible. We're too stiff. How are you going to learn if you're not open? How are you going to receive if you're not open? Again, most of us like Humpty Dumpty on the wall, is falling all over the place and can't even put your butt back together no more. You just a damn mess. And then you want to try to make somebody else feel that they're not worthy because you know you are not. You got to be careful with those people. Some of them we know and we care for. Don't give them no free pass. Don't support their nonsense. Don't reward them. In their minds, they feel, why should I change if you reward me? We have to challenge those people. God don't make us do nothing. God gives us choices. And that's the beauty of life, is to choose. Choose you this day, says the Lord, the law of the universe. Like the scriptures say, either say yay, yay, or nay, nay. But be careful. Be careful. So family, with those processes that I just gave you, you have to repeat them over and over again, because repetition is the key to learning. Once you do it long enough, it'll do you. But we don't stick to nothing long enough. We're easily distracted. We got to be intentional to become a master of self. We so busy trying to master each other that we forget that everything starts with the man in the mirror. So, self-mastery's greatest benefit, listen to me, self-mastery's greatest benefit is clarity. Make it clear and make it plain. Clarity. Not confusion. Not using opinions, but just telling the truth about what you know. So, clarity teaches you to live in the present moment. And it also gives you an opportunity to make room for being more grateful, for showing, to create more love, more respect, more health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and fulfillment. That is what mastery does when you have gotten to that level. It always makes room for more. So what's better than better? Better. Which means there's always room for improvement. And we must know, first and foremost, who we are. That is the major problem. We don't know who we are. It's almost like the enemy knows us better than we do. Shame on you for allowing that to happen. Never allow anybody to know you better than you. Everybody should be able to say that. If I know who and whose I am, everybody else have an opinion. And you know what opinions are. God gave everybody the ability to have an opinion. He gave everybody the right to have an opinion, just like he gave everybody a behind hole. And you know what comes out of the behind hole. And all of it stinks. So the wise man goes by what he knows. When you have mastered yourself, then you can truly say that I'm a child of God and mean it. Because once you know who you are, you'll know that we are the original people. We are the chosen people. We are the first people. We are the ones who God gave uh, the right to take care of everything that He created, to be stewards of everything He created, to name everything He created. Be careful what you call things, because it's real to you, and it can be crazy at times. But when you have mastered yourself, mastery of self is nothing but power. And when you have reached that level, everything you say is with power. Everything you do is with power. Everything that you think is with power. And people don't like that. They don't like to be around you when you use your powers, because they can't manipulate you. They can't control you. They can't swing you. But we have, because we have lost our powers, because we made a wrong turn somewhere in our existence, and it's been passed down through the generations. And look at what has happened. We shall overcome. What? We should be singing, we have overcome. The enemy has done a masterful job on us because we let our guards down. We start taking things for granted. And when you do, things happen. But one thing about our Creator, He gives us grace and mercy. What is that? That's benefit of the doubt. To get yourself together before it's too late. A lot of people say, oh, as long as you're alive, it's never too late. Really? Well, what about the Humpty Dumpty syndrome? That's real. Some people you can't put back together anymore. But the power in self-mastery qualifies you to be a child of God. Not only that, you are truly chosen. And when you have mastered yourself, that is God. And when you look in the mirror, there it is. I know some of you have never heard that or don't believe that, but you need to learn to go through those processes that I gave you, because we're not a process people. We go on how we feel. Learn from the best. Practice. Listen. Take an inventory of yourself and be true to yourself. Adapt to whatever is necessary to help you get your balance. Because powerful people are people with balance. They're very rational. And they are very, very balanced, level-headed. They got a certain level that they'll never go below. Doesn't matter who it is, it's what it is. So in order to honor our ancestors, we must step it up to take it to another level of the opportunities that they gave us. And stop blaming them, stop finding fault in them. Some people still blaming people who've been gone for years, their parents, their associates, and whatever. They gone, and then they end up kicking their own behinds. Keep blaming. Only point the finger when you're in the mirror. Even if it's true what you're saying, what you gonna do about it? That's all that matters. It ain't nothing till you call it. So be careful. Experiences. Let me say this, that as long as you're alive, the struggle goes on. Experiences are nothing but opportunities to see where you are. And it can be painful. But once you get on the other side of that pain, you can't beat the blessings. Because the blessing is in the lesson. So we got to get the lesson and keep it moving. Thank God for the opportunity. Thank God for blessing us with the ancestors that we can connect to help lead, guide, direct, and protect us through the journey of life. Honor and represent them. Anybody who passed on, let's honor and represent them. So that means they're still here because everything is mental. Everything you see came from a thought. That's how powerful a thought is. So again, family, keep your mind's eye on the ancestors, the ones before you. That's how you honor and represent them. The power of self-mastery should be number one on your list. Master your own mind, and you got it. People fear those kind of people. They can't intimidate you. They can't move you. They can't swing you.